Good morning, children. Today we are here to discuss Unit 10 Electromagnetism of 10th class. Within this session, we are going to discuss about AC generator. What does it mean, AC generator? Alternate current generator or dynamo, we can call it a AC dynamo. It basically works upon one principle. That principle is called as electromagnetic induction. What is called as electromagnetic induction? Change in magnetic flux induced current in the coil. How this particular change in magnetic flux is taking place? By the movement of bar magnet, or the coil is rotating around its own axis, means converting mechanical energy into electrical energy. That is the principle. What does it mean? Which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. That phenomena will result in production of current in the coil. Current in the coil, that is AC generator. Description. How we can describe this particular AC generator? Now I have taken AB, a coil. I have taken it up of what type of coil it is? A rectangular coil I have taken. A rectangular coil A, B, C, D, I have taken it up. I have taken such that the two ends of that particular rectangular coil are connected to what? Completely slippery links. C1 ring as well as C2 ring I have connected. Then afterwards, for that particular C1 complete ring as well as C2 complete ring, B1 brush as well as B2 brush are also connected. For these two B1 and B2 brushes, by means of connecting wire, a resistor R is connected. A resistor R is connected, whether the current is producing in the coil or not. Why resistor R have taken there? Electrical energy get be converted in the form of heat energy. As electrical energy is getting heat, resistor will become red hot. By that we can say that current is producing within this particular coil or not. We can identify. That is the placement of this particular rectangular coil. Place this particular rectangular coil on curved surface of horseshoe magnet consisting of north pole as well as south pole. In between these two poles, I am mounting a rectangular coil. When I am mounting this particular rectangular coil, the coil actual position is existing exactly in what degrees? 90 degrees you consider. How many degrees you consider? 90 degrees. So that what happens? The magnetic lines of forces leaves from the north pole, enters from the south pole. The magnetic lines of forces will passes from north pole to south pole. In this particular way, the magnetic lines of forces will be act upon a rectangular coil. Will be acting upon what? Rectangular coil. First of all, I have taken this is the coil which is existing in between what we can say horseshoe bar magnet. The coil is existing vertical. This is vertical position. This is horizontal position. Now the coil is existing vertical position. When the coil is existing vertical position, this becomes area of cross section of the coil. So that through this particular area of cross section, maximum number of magnetic lines of forces will be get passes through the coil. The coil is existing exactly at 90 degrees. When the coil is existing exactly at 90 degrees, area of cross section through which magnetic lines of forces to be get passed will be maximum. Therefore, maximum amount of magnetic lines of forces will pass through this particular coil when it is existing exactly at vertically. When maximum amount of flux is passing through the coil in this particular position, what happened? Current producing will be equal to 0. Therefore, maximum, the coil is vertically AB direction. So, maximum number of magnetic lines of forces will pass through this particular coil as the area of cross section is existing beside bar magnet in such a way that more number of magnetic lines of forces can be get passed through that particular coil. Due to that reason, maximum flux will be get produced. Due to that reason, no current will be get produced when the coil is existing in this direction. This is A position and this is B position. Now what happened? The coil is rotating in clockwise direction. From this particular position, now what happened? The coil in between bar magnets, the coil is rotated in this way. Here the bar magnet is existing, here the bar magnet. So that the maximum, now check the magnetic lines of forces are passing through this particular coil or not. If you observe, this is the width of the coil. This is the width of the coil. Depending upon the width of the coil, what happened? Magnetic lines of forces will be get passed through. When the coil is existing in this direction, less number of magnetic lines of forces will be get passes through this particular coil. As less number of magnetic lines of force are passing through this particular coil, first position is what? In this position, maximum flux has been taken place. Second position is what? The coil rotates in clockwise direction. So what happened there? In this position the coil is there. Then what happened? Variation in magnetic flux will be taken place. Why? Means less number of magnetic lines of forces will pass through this particular coil. Due to that reason, what happened here? Horizontally the position, this is A position, this is B position. Now the coil which is existing in this position, it has rotated B. This is what? A position and this is B position. In this particular position, which will be less, so that what happened? Less number of magnetic lines of forces will pass through this particular coil. Due to less number of magnetic lines of forces passing through this particular coil, what happened? Change in magnetic flux will be taken place. Change in magnetic flux means what? First what happened? Magnetic flux is more. Then afterwards the deflection of the particle will be shown in it will be decreasing as the magnetic flux is changing. The variation in magnetic flux result in this particular coil. A hot current, induced current will be get produced within this particular coil. How the induced current will be get existing? This is A point, this is B point. From B to A, from A to A, B to A, induced current can be get produced within the coil. Now the coil has completed what? Off rotation. Again from this particular position, what happened? The coil is rotating into this particular position. This is A point and this is B point. So what happened there? When the coil is rotating again clockwise direction, area of cross section of the coil is increases a lot. So that what happened? More number of magnetic lines of forces can be get passed through this particular coil. As more number of magnetic lines of force are passing through this particular area of cross section, what happens? Again the magnetic flux will be gradually increases. If the magnetic flux is gradually increases, what happened there? There won't be production of current in the coil. Current in the coil, so that what happened in this particular position, if it is existing between a bar magnet, as the area of cross section with this increases, more number of magnetic lines of forces will be get passes, which results again increasing in magnetic flux, which results in the form of what? Induced current cannot be get produced within this particular phase. That phase we are seeing here again, the coil is existing vertically. and A and B are existing. Here induced current produced horizontally. Here what happened? Here induced current is not producing. Why? Vertical position. Maximum number of magnetic lines of force are passing through that particular coil. Therefore, magnetic flux will be maximum. Magnetic flux will be maximum. As it is magnetic flux is maximum, no current will be get produced in the coil. If there is no presence of current, what happened there? Magnetic flux will be maximum, we can identify. Again, from this particular position, again what happened? The coil is rotating in this direction. Here we are having A point and here we are having B point. Again, the width of the coil has been get gradually decreases. Here, paramagnet is existing north pole and here south pole. So, magnetic lines of forces will be passes, but depending upon the width of the coil, less number of magnetic lines of forces will be get passes. As less number of magnetic lines of forces are passing through this particular coil, again what happened? Before that, maximum deflection it is there. As it is having here, what happened? Minimum flux will be get produced. So for what? Variation in flux takes place. As variation in flux is taking place, one current will be get produced in the coil. That current is called as what? Induced current will be get produced. Here, induced current will be in what direction? Reverse direction, then the first direction. First is from where to where? B to A it is there. Now how it will be there? From A to B it will be there. Therefore, induced current will be get produced from A to B within, for one, as the coil is rotating continuously, for one complete rotation, twice we are producing induced current. First one is what? The coil is existing in this position. A, B, B to A, induced current is producing exactly at horizontal position. Again the coil rotates and again the coil rotates. A to B, induced current is producing. Therefore, for one complete revolution, twice the current, induced current is producing. First position is from where to where? B to A it is producing. On this particular phase we are producing. Again, on this particular position A to B, induced current is producing. Why here induced current is producing? Change in magnetic flux is taking place. Why here induced current is producing? Change in magnetic flux is taking place. But whereas in these conditions, what happened there? Vertical position, what is there? Maximum number of magnetic lines of forces will be get passes. Therefore, magnetic flux will be maximum. If magnetic flux is maximum, current flow through the particular circuit will be equal to 0. As there is variation in these two positions, as there is variation in magnetic flux, results in producing of induced current. Here, B to A induced current is producing. A to B induced current is producing. In this particular phenomena, for one complete revolution, twice induced current is producing. First one is what? First half is what? From B to A. Second half is what? From A to B. Due to this reason, what happened? Reverse. Here what happened? Induced current produced, but in what direction? Reverse direction. If you observe here, B to A. Here if you observe A to B, reverse direction is taking place. In that particular way, for one complete revolution, twice induced current will be get produced due to the mechanical motion of the coil. As the coil is, in this way the coil is there. As the coil is rotating around the horseshoe bar magnet, the mechanical motion of the coil results in production of induced current. That current is nothing but what? AC. Based upon that particular phenomena, AC generator will work or AC dynamo will be working. If I am plotting a graph here, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. On y-axis, induced EMF I have taken and x-axis I have taken number of revolutions. First one is what? From 0 to 90. Maximum flux is existing. And maximum vertical position, maximum flux is there. If there is maximum flux, what happened? No current will be get produced. As it again peak point there itself. From here what happened? There itself the coil is again rotated to what? Clockwise direction. Therefore horizontal position the coil forms. As it is forming horizontal, what happened? Change in flux will be taken place through this particular weave. It will be less number of magnetic lines of forces will be get passes, which results in variation in flux. As due to variation in flux, what happened here? Minimum, maximum, minimum changes in change in flux producing what current? Induced current, that is from where to where? B to A it is taking place. Again from here, what happened? From horizontal again vertical position, the coil is coming in downward direction is taking place. In downward direction, maximum flow of current will be taken place. Again here what happened? Maximum flux will become as what? Minimum. Again if it is coming into horizontal. But here what happened there? B to A current is producing and here it is from A to B. Reverse direction current is producing. For one, this total thing is called as what? One complete revolution. In this particular way, for one complete revolution, twice induced current is producing when the coil is existing in horizontally, in that particular way. For one complete rotation, twice induced current will be get produced and the coil will generate electrical energy due to mechanical motion of the coil. Yet between these two brushes, as I have connected here resistor, what happened there? I can identify resistor will be get heated up. Or if I am connecting to B1 and B2 brush TV or fan will be continuously rotate around its own axis. This is the principle on which AC generator will be at work. Try to analyze this particular concept by watching number of times and gain knowledge. Thank you, children.